Just practice from the talk, The Noble Eightfold Path. Today I'll be talking about the Noble Eightfold Path. Our Buddha taught for 45 years. He taught Sila, morality, Samadhi, concentration, and Panyanya, wisdom. Just these three. The Noble Eightfold Path. In Pali, we call it Magga. Magga means the way or the road. It's the way to live a blissful existence. And it's a way to get to the cessation of suffering. So Magga is the way. And also, Magga has two syllables. Ma means killing, and Gga means go. So what does morality, concentration, and wisdom kill? They kill mental defilements, greed, hatred, delusion, conceit, doubt, sloth, restlessness, and shamelessness. And where do morality, concentration, and wisdom go? To liberation, to nibbana. So Magga, the Noble Eightfold Path, kills mental defilements and goes to nibbana. Magga is 1. Right understanding. 2. Right thinking or right thought. 3. Right speech. 4. Right action. 5. Right livelihood. 6. Right effort. 7. Right mindfulness. And 8. Right concentration. What does right understanding mean? It means understanding the Four Noble Truths, which asks, what is suffering? What is the cause of suffering? What is the cessation of suffering? What is the way leading to the cessation of suffering? If we know these Four Noble Truths, it's called samadhi, right understanding, right view. What is suffering? Birth, to be born again, is suffering. Illness is suffering, and death is suffering. Association with things you don't like is suffering. Separation from what you like is suffering. Not getting what you want is suffering. And every day we have to take care of our bodies. This is suffering. Where does suffering come from? Everything has a cause. The cause of suffering is craving, or attachment. The more you have attachment, the more you have suffering. When we know that the cause of suffering is craving, attachment, and greed, it's very clear. And if we have suffering's opposite, we have bliss, or happiness. If we understand the cessation of suffering, this is samadhi, right understanding. If we understand that the way leading to the cessation of suffering is sila, samadhi, and panya, this is samadhi, or right understanding. We practice insight vipassana meditation to see the true nature of mind and body, arising and disappearing. If you understand the 3 characteristics of mind and body, impermanence, suffering, and 27 the collected teachings of Luang Por Chaya non-self, it's called right understanding. And if you understand the law of cause and effect, this is also samadhi. This is why we need to study, ask questions, and practice meditation, because it leads to right understanding. What is right thinking? It means thinking about renunciation. This is not just thinking about becoming a nun or a monk. It's not only that. It's thinking, I'd like to practice meditation for half an hour, for 1 hour, for a week, or for 10 days, something like that. With meditation, we are practicing the renunciation of mental defilements. This is right thinking. And also, we should have thoughts of non-killing. You don't think about killing or destroying someone. And we should think of non-cruelty. You don't want to hurt or harm anyone. You don't want to make anyone suffer. This kind of thinking is called right thinking. What is right speech? This means refraining from lying, slandering, harsh speech, and gossip. Try to talk the right way. When you talk, there are 5 things I'd like all of you to remember. 1. It should be true. 2. It should be beneficial. 3. It should be at the proper time. 4. It should be polite. And 5. It should be spoken with loving kindness. Otherwise, if you use your tongue or your mouth the wrong way, it causes so many problems. If you don't know how to talk, your tongue can lead you to jail. And the bad consequences are not just in this life, but you might go to hell in a future existence too. So the Buddha taught that we have to study to know the way, and then we have to practice according to the teachings. We have to speak the right way. What is right action? Right action means refraining from killing, stealing, and committing sexual misconduct. And also, whatever you do, you're not harming yourself or someone else. Whatever you do for the temple, the religion, or for the welfare of others should be concerned with morality, tranquility, and wisdom. This is right action. What is right livelihood? This is to refrain from killing, stealing, committing sexual misconduct, lying, slandering, and harsh speech as part of how you earn income. And also, we're not supposed to sell weapons, poison, intoxicants, slaves, human beings, or animals for our livelihood. This is what right livelihood means. What is right effort? There are 4 kinds of effort we have to follow. 1. The effort to discard evil that has already arisen. For example, you used to kill living creatures, but from now on, I will 28 just practice not kill living creatures. This means that we will no longer do evil things we used to do. We will discard evil that has already arisen. And also, don't think about what you've done previously. Everyone, as ordinary worldlings, according to our greed, hatred, and delusion, has done evil things, and has been verbally and mentally evil. But from now on, I won't do that anymore. Use your effort. 2. The effort to prevent the arising of unarisen evil. This means that if you never drank alcohol, or never used to kill anything before, you don't allow yourself to get involved in these sorts of things. New evil is not allowed to come. Use your effort. 3. The effort to develop unarisen good. For example, maybe you've never practiced generosity before. Now, I will do that as much as I can. Or maybe you've practiced generosity, but you've never observed the precepts firmly and purely. From now on, I will use my effort to observe the precepts firmly and purely. And if you've practiced generosity and observed morality, but you've never practiced meditation, from now on, I will start to do this good thing. If you've practiced generosity, observed morality, and practiced meditation, but you have not yet gained anything, you keep trying. Use your effort. And 4. The effort to promote the good you've already done. For example, if you practice generosity, observe precepts, and sit in meditation every day, from now on, try to promote your morality, concentration, and wisdom to be higher and higher, to increase until you gain enlightenment. This is samavayama, right effort. What is right mindfulness, or samasati? It is to be mindful, to be aware all the time with regard to our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Whatever objects come to our eyes, for example, we should be aware of them. If you're not aware of phenomena arising, what happens? The eye door, ear door, nose door, tongue door, body door, and mind door 29, the collected teachings of Luang Porchaya, allow mental defilements to get in. But sati, mindfulness, is like a security guard. It protects the properties in your heart. You're protecting your eyes, for example, because when you see something desirable, you want it, and so greed and craving arise. If an undesirable object presents itself, then you get angry if there's no mindfulness. With mindfulness, though, you'll be able to protect yourself from these mental defilements. You need to be aware all the time. That's why when we practice insight vipassana meditation, we're not only focused on our nostrils or on our abdomen. When you see something, for instance, it's just seeing. And then no craving and no hatred occurs, just mindfulness. It's the same way when your ear hears something, you smell something, you taste something, you touch something, or you think about something. You should just be aware of whatever it is as a psychophysical process. When you're aware all the time, you'll see their nature. That's why the Buddha said that to cure mental defilements and go to nibbana, the cessation of suffering, we need right mindfulness. What is right concentration? Without concentration, you cannot see clearly what phenomena really are. That's why we need a main object of meditation. We have different techniques. Well, at first they're different, but later on they're the same. For example, all of you came to this program for International Buddhist Fellowship Association from different ways. Some came from the East, some came from the West, but your coming is the same. It's the same way with meditation techniques. Basically, the technique may be different, but the way you see should be the same. If they're not the same, it's not the right way. Some may concentrate their minds on their nostrils or on their abdomen. Others may concentrate on sensations in their body. I'd like people to concentrate their minds on their abdomens. When you sit in meditation, close your eyes and focus on the abdomen. You will see the rising and falling of the abdomen. You'll see your abdomen rises upward, and at that moment make a mental note. Rising. Follow the movement from the beginning, through the middle, and to the end of the rising. When your abdomen falls downward, make a mental note. Falling. Be aware of all of the falling and all of the rising. And then you will gain concentration. When you gain concentration, you will see their nature. Every moment your abdomen rises and then disappears. The noting mind also, one moment it arises and then it disappears. Your abdomen and the 30 just practiced noting mind arise together and disappear together. This samadhi, right understanding, sees the true nature of mind and body. So the Buddha said that the Noble Eightfold Path is the middle way, the only way, to go to Nibbana. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood comprise sila, morality. Right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration are samadhi, concentration, and right understanding and right thinking are panya, wisdom. Even though we say that the Noble Eightfold Path is just these three components, how do sila, samadhi, and panya cure mental defilements? Well, there are 3 levels of mental defilement. 1. Transgressive. When this type of mental defilement arises, you break your precepts. You might kill someone, or steal someone's property, or rape someone, lie to someone, or drink alcohol, and so on. You kill this mental defilement by virtue, by sila, or morality. When you observe your precepts, I will take the precept to refrain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, using drugs or alcohol, and so on, then no transgressive mental defilements arise. Please remember that this type of mental defilement can be overcome by virtue. So there's no physical or verbal evil when you observe your precepts. 2. But in your mind, there's mental defilement, craving, hatred, jealous, and so on. We call this obsessive mental defilement. How to kill this mental defilement? This can be overcome by concentration. So when you practice meditation, try to observe your primary object. For example, concentrate your mind on your abdomen, rising and falling. In that moment, you use your effort, your mindfulness, and your concentration to observe and focus on your primary object. And in that moment, no obsessive mental defilement occurs. And 3. The last level of mental defilement is latent. This may be overcome by wisdom perfection, by Mahayana, which is traveling the road to enlightenment. 31. The collected teachings of Luang Porchaya. As I told you earlier, Magga means killing the mental defilements and going to Nibbana, supreme bliss, the cessation of suffering. How to kill? Kill transgressive mental defilements by virtue, sila. Kill obsessive mental defilements by concentration, samadhi. And kill latent defilements by wisdom. The essence of the Buddha's teaching is sila, samadhi, and paññāna. I would like all of you to try to observe your precepts and practice meditation to gain concentration in order to see the phenomena of mind and body, to see the Four Noble Truths, and finally, may all of you attain enlightenment in this very life. Does anyone have any questions? Q. Can you talk more about latent mental defilement? They are very subtle. They are deeply inside. Right now, for instance, you have no greed, no craving, and no anger. But if someone came and hit you, anger would well up in you from deep inside. This is your latent defilement. The mental defilements of wrong view and doubt are eradicated by the first stage of enlightenment. You can eradicate sensual pleasure and anger when you gain the 3rd stage of enlightenment. And when you gain arahantship, all mental defilements are eradicated. Latent mental defilements are overcome by wisdom. When you practice tranquility meditation, for instance, you can eliminate mental defilement only temporarily. It hasn't uprooted it. These latent defilements are still there. But when the cat sees the rat run in front of him, he can catch it right away. It's the same thing as you develop your Vipassana meditation. And when you become an arahant, there's no more latent mental defilement. Q. Can you talk more about Magga? There are 4 kinds of Magga. In English, we call it path, the way. These are the 4 stages of enlightenment. If you practice Vipassana meditation and gain the first stage of enlightenment, you become what we call a stream enterer, Sotapanna. If you continue to develop your meditation and gain the second stage of enlightenment, it's called a once-returner, Sakadagami. If you keep practicing meditation and gain the third stage of enlightenment, it's called 32, just practice a non-returner, Anagami. And if you practice meditation until you gain the fourth stage of enlightenment, it's called Arahant. You have 4 Magga and 4 Phala. Magga means path, and Phala means fruit. So there's Pathyana and Frutyana. Q. Can you talk about chanting as a meditation? Chanting a mantra is tranquility meditation, samatha. After that, you can do Vipassana meditation. The purpose of practicing meditation is to gain enlightenment, right? The Buddha said that there's only one way to gain enlightenment, mindfulness meditation. Without it, you cannot reach your spiritual goal. Q. Some people meditate on Chenrezig. Can you talk about that? That's tranquility meditation, not Vipassana meditation. To gain enlightenment, you have to realize the nature of mind and body, the 3 characteristics. Without realizing these 3 characteristics, you cannot gain enlightenment. I've told all of you to cultivate the good. Chanting a mantra is good. Practicing generosity, morality, and tranquility meditation are good, but they are not insight Vipassana meditation. We have to go further. Tranquility, or samatha, meditation focuses on just one object in order to gain peace of mind. When you gain absorption, or jhana, maybe you can be reborn in the Brahma realm. That's it. You're still an ordinary worldling. In order to escape from suffering, we need to practice Vipassana meditation. If you just chant a mantra, you won't realize the nature of mind and matter. Q. What would you realize? When you chant a mantra, you gain concentration. Maybe you hear your words, maybe you know the meaning, or even if you don't know the meaning, you're just listening, or maybe chanting. You gain concentration. If you'd like to gain enlightenment, but are only practicing tranquility meditation, no way. With regard to tranquility meditation, we have 40 subjects of meditation, Kamathana. They include 10 kasina devices, 10 impurities, 10 reflections, 4 sublime states, reflection, analysis, and arupajana. Altogether, 40 subjects of meditation. 3. The collected teachings of Luang Porchaya Q. Can you talk about the different meditation postures, particularly walking meditation? In meditation, we have 4 postures: sitting meditation, walking meditation, standing meditation, and lying down meditation. Walking meditation is very useful for sitting meditation. If we only sit all day long, we have much concentration, but with so much concentration, we become drowsy. So we need to balance our concentration and effort. Our mental faculties include faith, mindfulness, effort, concentration, and wisdom. We have to balance our faith and our wisdom. And we have to balance our concentration and our effort. When you practice walking meditation, in general, it's just walking. Being aware of the movement of our feet and legs. You have to use effort. But there are 6 steps of walking meditation. For example, with the first step, you're just walking. After you're familiar with that, you gain concentration. And then you add a step. Lifting, dropping. So with each step, you make 2 mental notes. We have to use effort more than we did with the first step. After you're familiar with that, add 1 more. Lifting, pushing, dropping. The lifting and noting mind should occur together. When you push, the pushing and the noting mind should occur together. And the same with the dropping. After you're familiar with that, add one more. Heel up, lifting, pushing, dropping. And then add one more. Heel up, lifting, pushing, lowering, touching. And for the sixth, heel up, lifting, pushing, lowering, touching, pressing. Do this slowly and precisely. Patiently observe the movement, closely. So there are 6 stages or steps of walking meditation. Do the first stage for about 10 minutes, walking, walking, walking. Then lifting, dropping for 10 minutes, and so on. Do 6 sections for 1 hour, and then continue with sitting meditation. After you finish 1 hour of sitting meditation, then practice walking meditation for another hour. If you do that for a few days, you'll be able to walk for 2 hours and sit for a few hours. You can progress. 34.